Hey YouTube, Mark here with my January pickups and also a little bit extra. I have some footage here from my trip to the Philippines and a few of the games that I got this month, or well for January. They were purchased actually in Iloilo City. I think what we'll do first is we'll go through some of the footage and some of the other various things that I had done during the 2 weeks I was down there. So, all right, let's check it out.
Hey, so it's fucking hot out here. I don't know if you can hear me or not, but about to get a full body massage for about an hour. It's cheap. Now, when I was here 2.5 years ago, I had this done, and it's incredible. I think it was like $5. It is ridiculously hot right now. So, just as a heads up, I'm missing the Nintendo Switch event for a massage, but it is so worth it. Alrighty.
One arcade here, and you got one more arcade right there. And yeah, Marby Adventure.
Decepticons? You are their target. What?
Oh my god. It's backwards. And I can't read it. What? I can't read it. Ay, ay, ay. Oh. You're driving crazy, Mike. Ay, 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 ay. Stop it! Yes, sir. Don't take the wheel. So hard. Just make it slow. There you go. You already got it.
Going to be shrimping. What ba?
Wak gid. Dia lagi abang Aklan.
Wanna climb coconut tree?
Am I picking this? Got it. Alright, so the games that I picked up, first off, the first day that we arrived, a package came in the mail. I had received a gift from my wife's cousin that lives in Manila. And that is right here. And what this is a handheld Famicom Pocket, essentially. I mean, it's interesting because there's there's like over 400 games on here, and here's the unit. There's pretty much, I would say, almost all of the Nintendo games that I played as a kid growing up, and a whole lot more. And even though that this is like an imitation, kind of like Japanese thing, which I do believe it was built in China, but all the games are American games. They're all from the NES. Everything's in English. However, I will be doing a separate video on this to kind of show it off. However, I will go ahead and show you when you first turn it on. It's, it gives you, I'm guessing that's Chinese, and then English. And go ahead and we'll go to the English side. And you can't, I don't think you're going to be able to see it. But this right here says 472 in one. But then they actually give you, open the package, give you this little tiny cartridge here. Let me see. I put the cartridge in. I don't know how many's on the cartridge. And you got to make sure that it goes in real tight because it doesn't click in like, like an actual legit system would. 128 games on this cartridge. And I know there's a lot of them on here that are not from the NES or the Famicom. A lot of them are like knockoffs. But it's not a bad system for what it is. And the screen is really bright. I'm actually very impressed with it. And then, on top of that, they also give you another controller. Now, this controller, which I'll include in the review in the next video, but it runs on the USB Mini or Mini USB, and so I know you could get an adapter, and then you could probably use this on like your computer for emulators or something. The buttons are real clicky and stuff. I don't know how well it works because I haven't tried it yet, but it's kind of neat. 4 face buttons plus a D-pad, so it works. So I also got another gift. Actually, when we were leaving, we went to Manila to go to the airport, and we ended up, our layover was really long, so we ended up staying the night there at a hotel and went to dinner with my wife's cousins and a couple friends. And one of them, he goes by DJ Big Beats. He gave me a Super Famicom game, J Super Soccer 95. I don't have a Super Nintendo that I could mod to play this. I don't have a Famicom or a Super Famicom, so it's just going to be a shelf item for now. And I'm not really big into soccer anyway, but the idea of having a Japanese game, regardless, is pretty cool. So here's the cartridge, and it's like it's brand new. Pretty awesome, actually. And then here's the manual. Not used to seeing these. And actually, I don't know if the Super Nintendo manuals had color, but I know like the old NES, they were always black and white. This is all in color. All those screens that they're showing right here is all in color, and that's pretty cool. And so I'll go ahead and put this back. So yeah, I mean, I think if I had a Super Nintendo, I definitely would give this a shot just to see what it's like. Alright, so we made a trip from Kalibo to Iloilo. It's about 3 hours, maybe 3.5 hour drive. Anyway, at the mall there, I saw some games that I was like, I kind of need it. The exchange rate there is really, really good if you're, using American dollars. When you convert them over, I save actually a lot. Last Guardian, I picked this up for $40, brand new. And it's interesting because this is the English/Chinese version. And, it plays fine in the PS4. There's no region lock or anything like that. So I've already been playing this, and I think the game is fantastic. The next one here is Resident Evil Umbrella Corps, or Umbrella Corpse. I'm pretty certain it's Core. But when I saw this, I didn't think this was available in the States yet. And it is one of the 20th anniversary games that they've been, releasing. If it is here in the States, then okay. But this one is actually going to be better, at least in my opinion, because it's got multiple languages and stuff on it. It's, it's different. And then actually, if you flip it around, it has the Japanese cover. Although I'm not 100% sure if that's Japanese or not, on the writing there, but to me, I think it probably is, just because I know in Japan it's Biohazard. But so I got that, and then this one I'm almost certain is only available through digital, and that is Shadow of the Beast. For those who do not know, this is actually a remake of the original game from the 1990s that was on Sega Genesis. It might have been on Super Nintendo, I'm not sure, I didn't have that. So. But it's interesting to me because EA was the publisher of those games during the 90s. And I don't really know who published this one. It doesn't say on here. But it does say Chinese and English version, so that's again, this is kind of neat to have something a little different there. So then after, when we got back to the States, we were here for like 2 days in our apartment, and then we left again. But instead, we went to Detroit. So we went, from Florida to Detroit, and while we were there, my wife and I hit up a thrift shop, and I saw some games I had to buy. Now, I didn't have a whole lot of space in our bags. I didn't have a whole lot of extra money either, so I only bought a few. All of these games were $3 a piece. Now, I got this one. I already have it, but I bought it to give to a friend of mine, and that would be the limited collector's edition of Doom 3 for the original Xbox. And it's complete, and actually the disc itself is like, I don't know, it's not like brand new or anything, but it's really good condition. There's that. And then I saw this, and I was like, you don't see this every day. So it's Xbox Live Arcade, and it's got some pretty good games on here. Pac-Man Championship Edition, which I think is really awesome. And then there's a few here that I've heard of but never played them. And that's, Uno, which I've played the original card game but never played it on here. Boom Boom Rocket, I heard of, never played. Kind of wanted to, but never wanted to spend the money. Feeding Frenzy, I've heard of it, but I don't really know what it is. And then Luxor 2. I've played Luxor, the original one, so that's kind of cool. And to have all these on physical form is fantastic because I prefer to stay away from digital as much as I can. Then I got, on PlayStation 2, Ultimate Alliance. It doesn't have a manual, which kind of sucks, but I can get that off of eBay. And the disc is, it's got a scratch in it, but I think I can buff it out. And then I also got Ultimate Alliance 2. And I was kind of shocked to see this. Wouldn't have thought it would have made it to the PlayStation 2. But here it is. This doesn't look too terrible. And if you look here, let's see, it says copyright 2009. That right there to me is insane. I mean, I know the PS2 went for a long time, but whew, man, there's so many games on the PS2 that came out on like the 360 and PS3. It's insane that it even made it that far. So anyways, with all of these games and all that stuff aside, like always, happy gaming.